Oh, hey. Hi, everyone. My name is Andrew Hawkrattle. Welcome to the Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge. I got a standing desk, so I just feel like I need to be more mobile for these. I'm really excited to be here and do the Daily Creative Challenges with you. Hello. So excited to watch one of my favorite live streams. Well, thanks. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for hanging out. We'll be here every day for the next, actually the next 3.5 weeks if you're watching the Creative Replay. And we'll be doing a Daily Creative Challenge every day in Adobe Illustrator. And yes, it is Sports Ball Day. That's right, y'all. We're doing sports stuff. And as we get into the challenge today, you'll see how little I actually know about sports because it's... I'll get there. We'll get there when we get to the challenge. So if you have not ever been here before, hello, welcome. Go ahead and raise your hand in chat. Just say hi so I can know that there are some new faces here. And if you are watching on YouTube, come on over to Behance, be.net/live. That's where the chat is. That's where the hangout is. Our friend Wade is here. If you don't know Wade, you need to meet Wade. Come on over, meet Wade. He's a really cool guy. If you want to follow along with me, you can do so right there. Hawk.co on pretty much everything. Yeah, that's where I'll be. Where you'll be is hopefully at a different link right here, bit.ly/AI Discord. That's the place to get connected, and that is the place that we are putting all of our work as we create it. We're taking looks, we're giving feedback, we're getting feedback from our awesome mentors, and y'all have been doing well. Y'all have been doing real well. Let's hop over to Discord and take a look. Y'all, you absolutely killed it with these umbrellas from yesterday. So lots of pattern, lots of fun stuff. Ooh, hot air balloons. I may do that this weekend. So super fun, great work. Make sure that you're posting your work over here again using that link right there, bit.ly/AI Discord. As well as posting on Behance. Now, if you've never been and you're like, what is this? Why are we doing this? Well, hi, hello. Are you here? Are you wanting to learn more about Adobe Illustrator? Do you have the internet? Well, join me here, behance.net/challenge/illustrator. That is a place where you can get all of your source files and get updated every single day on what's going on. So you can click this button that just says take the challenge, big blue button, and it will notify you every day in Creative Cloud as well as on Behance. There's a new challenge live with yours truly. And if you scroll down, check it out. We have a new file for today, layered Wordmark. There's not a lot in the file today because we are going to be working together on it as we go. I did give you some colors though. I give you some fun colors that you can use for your sports team. And with that, make sure you download that file. Make sure your internet connection is strong. Make sure you've got fonts floating around in your heads, because yes, we have done type pretty much every day so far. And guess what? We're doing type again today. It's my favorite thing. So we're going to be playing around with type and doing some really crazy layered stuff. So with that, we do know that our theme is this week showers and next week flowers. And I wanted to make sure that we spent some time doing I can't sell it, doing one of my favorite things when it rains, watching sports inside. And the reason we did this challenge today is because I thought when I was planning that March Madness would end at the end of April. I thought, yeah, that makes sense. No. So today's going to be a soccer challenge because there's a soccer thing happening. I only know that because my roommate watches soccer. So let's hop into our showers challenge of watching sports on a rainy day. Hey. Yeah, I know. It's supposed to be hot. Oh, wait. It's supposed to be raining? I love the rain. Oh my goodness. I gotta go. Hello?
Hey, it's Wade.
Oh, hey, Wade.
You're doing the daily challenge, right?
Yeah.
You're still live.
Oh,
Come back.
I'll be right back. And Samantha says, why not the draft? To which I say, there's a draft. Somebody should shut the window. I'm sorry. All right, so we've got our sports attire on. We're ready to do sports stuff. We have our basketball headband on for the soccer team that we're going to make. And yes, football, thank you. Let's go ahead and hop over into Illustrator. And that's right. Come on in, jam. That's what we are going to be doing today. We are going to be jamming out, and it's going to be so much fun. So here's what I need from you, chat. And I'm sorry, Creative Replay. Chat, I need a name of a team. Let's go ahead and pick a name of a team. It'll be fun and interactive. So go ahead, pick a name of a team, and we will use that today. If you're just getting acquainted with Illustrator, this is our artboard. It's the area that we're going to be working. We actually may not work completely in there today, but we'll see. And then down here, I've provided a bunch of colors for you. If you want to, you can make these swatches for a little bit of an easier kind of use. All you need to do is grab the selection tool and click and drag all the way across. And from there, we are going to go to our swatches panel over here. Just go to Window Swatches and then click on this little folder, and it will make a swatch with, a swatch book with all of the different colors that we have used. Let's see if we can get that to pop up. You know what? I'm not sure why it isn't popping up here in my selected artwork. Okay. All right. Well, it's not popping up. We'll use the eyedropper tool. Not a problem. All right. So someone said the sparks, and I actually think the sparks is a really fun idea. So let's do the sparks. And if you're watching Creative Replay, pretend that you commented sparks and be like, oh, you picked mine. All right. So let's go ahead and do the sparks. And what we're going to do is we're just going to grab the type tool right here, and we are going to create a point type. So we're going to click, and then we are going to type in sparks. Sparks. There we go. We're going to use the scale tool to just click and drag holding shift to make that nice and large. Now, when I think about sports teams, right, I always think about a bunch of different outlines, and it's shooting everywhere, and it has like the sharp edges and stuff. I also love the Hawk Stars. That's awesome. So we want to get all those crazy edges. And when we're thinking about type that we've talked about in some of the last challenges, this is a sans serif. It doesn't have any points, doesn't have any sharpness to it. So I want to find a really good serif. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the type panel using Control T, or going to Window and Type or Character. And what we're going to do is we're just going to scroll through our fonts, and we can use the filters here to find a nice serif. So we're going to click on here, and we are going to filter by with serifs. We'll click right there, and we can start to look, and as we hover over these, you can see that it starts to show you what it looks like in a live display. Now, I'm pretty sure that I know what I want to use, and that's a font called Modesto. And Modesto has really great serifs for us to use. So I'm just going to type in Modesto, and it's right here. And yes, it looks like that. It's really good. Let's do this one because it's a little more sharp. And let's make it all caps. So you can actually click this button right here, and it will make it all caps. So now we can see that those letters are looking good and nice and large. We're just going to use the alignment tools to bring that to the center of the artboard. And there we go. So we've got our base for the sparks. And now we need to kind of think about what colors we want to use. And I think that we're going to use a nice yellow. Why would we not, right? We're going to use this awesome yellow. Actually, let's use this just for a little bit of flair. Let's use orange. And then we're going to start adding some effects, and we're actually going to do this a bunch of different ways, right? So if you've ever seen my challenges, I always try to tell you there's no wrong way to do things. So we're going to do it like 3 different ways today. And if any of them are better for you, then do those. And there are advantages and disadvantages to each. So we have our awesome sparks here, and we can simply come over here to the stroke, and we can add on if we want. Maybe we want a black stroke on this. We can add the stroke, and oh my goodness, wow, it looks so great. That's not quite what we want. We want to add a little bit more flair, right? We're getting some of that edge, but we really want it to hit and like explode out those edges. So what we're going to do is we are going to start adding extra layers here. So we can go over to the appearance panel, and you can see in right here, oh, let me move the character panel. We'll need that later. We'll just Command T it away. So what we can do is select this, and then we can actually add a stroke. And so what I want to do is see what this looks like maybe on a color. So make sure that we have some extra space. So we're going to put this on this crazy red just so we can have a background color. And we're going to add a stroke right here. So we're going to add a new stroke. And with this new stroke, let's go ahead and make this stroke white. So as we continue to make this stroke larger, you'll see that it's starting to get inside the letters. We actually don't want that. We want it to be on the outside of those letters. And so the only way to do that is to outline this so that it isn't live type. And so what we're going to do is we are going to actually space this out just a little bit. So we'll bring up our type panel again. Come over here to the tracking and just track that out. And then we're going to hit Command, Shift, and O, or we're going to go to Object Expand, either of those. And now it is outlines instead of live type. And we can click on the stroke that we've created and align it to the outside. Let me make sure we can actually do that. Come on. There we go. Yep. And then we're going to add the stroke. So we're going in here, we're adding the stroke, and the stroke is going to be white. There we go. And we're going to click on the word stroke. There we go. And align it to the outside. So make that a little bit larger, and you'll see we're starting to get some of these nice little pieces here on the edges. So that looks good. Now let's add in another layer. And this time, I think that I want that nice little blue color. So I'm actually going to open my swatches panel here and see if I can drag these over. Let's do... What do I want to do? Let's just copy this color. So because I can't get that to go through right now, we'll go live. I'll just copy the hex code for that color and then we'll paste it in. So what we're going to do is continue to layer different strokes. So we're going to add another stroke, except we want to drag it and make sure that it is under this white stroke. So we're going to click and drag and it will go underneath that white stroke. So here I am going to go ahead and click, and then we are going to, y'all, I need to get these swatches in here. Oh, let's do this. Oh, let's do this. Ooh, let's do this. Okay, so we can go here. Look at this. Here we go. We can go here. We can select with this object selected, and I'm going to add this color. Oh no. Oh no. Why is it not letting me do the swatches? All right, we're going live, y'all. We are going to reset the workspace real quick. Reset Essentials Classic. Looks good. We have swatches up here. Let's go ahead and do open swatch library. Oh, y'all, we're having some trouble. All right, we might do this in black and white. All right, we're going black and white. Here we go. All right, so what we're going to do is you guys can work in color. I'm not sure why it's not working. It was just working, but now it's not. So we're going to change this to black, and here we go. So now we have that nice kind of look, right, that's going there. Save what you have. Yeah, I know, right? And then from there, we're going to continue to add in another stroke. And so we already have that second stroke added here, and we're going to go ahead and make that one black. But we are going to continue to increase the size of that. And now it looks like it is a 10-point stroke, like outside of a 10-point stroke. And we can actually keep this going. So I'm going to add one more here. And this stroke, which is going to be behind all those, is going to go to white again. And we're going to increase that to maybe, let's do 25 this time. So now it's 5 more, right? So we have a 10-point stroke, another 10-point stroke, and then it increases by 5. And then we'll add one more stroke. That's right, all of the strokes. And this stroke is going to be black again. And this stroke, we are going to take all the way up to maybe 40. And so we do need to make sure that this stroke is aligned to the outside. There we go. And now we've got that nice, chunky, kind of thick on the outside, right? Looking good. So now we've got some energy on these sparks. I love that the S's kind of make it so that it is has that energy so that it is symmetrical on either side. But we're going to move this up here. And check this out. This is literally one shape. It's just one shape with a whole bunch of different effects on it. If we go to Control or Command Y, you can see that it's just these letters. Now, what we're going to do is another way, and I'm actually going to delete all of these strokes, and we're just going to have the word here, right? So that looks pretty good, and we are going to go ahead and change this so that it is not only a shape, but it is going to be multiple shapes, right? So we're going to do something called a offset path. So I'm going to make it in this nice little orange. We can actually use color this time, I believe. We're going to go to Object, Path, and Offset Path. And here you can see that it's giving us that it's taking all of those points and moving them by a certain amount, right? So as we increase this, you can see that it gets much, much larger. As we bring this down, you can see that it gets much, much smaller. So we're going to hit OK here, and it has made a new shape for us, right? So this new shape, let's go ahead and do some that has, yes, this is what I want, that has that cool kind of offset. So now we're going to do it again. We're going to go to Object, Path, Offset Path. And here we're going to make this next one a little bit bigger. So we'll make that one maybe 0.375. So when we hit OK here, right, it's looking a little bit better. Okay, let's see what colors go here. Ooh, yeah, the perfect looks great. The purple looks great. The perfect looks great. The purple. And now we're going to do a black box around the entire edge. And what I like to do is go to Path, Offset Path, and then make a very, very thick edge. And you can see we get a lot of those fun little interactions, and hit OK. And we're going to set this one all the way to black. So full black all the way. And now we've got that awesome kind of look. Now, as I do this, there are certain things that I want to take out. So some of these feel like they're hitting a little bit too hard. And what I can do using the direct selection tool is I can come in here and select just this black outline shape. And with the pen tool, just hover over these pieces that I don't necessarily want in there. And as I click on these, you can see it changes to a little minus there. It will subtract these points, and that way we can have a nice container shape around the entire area. This makes it look much more custom. It makes it look much more kind of refined and like you've done it as a badge instead of looking too crazy and too much like you just kind of outlined things. So I like to figure out where the lines really hit and then start taking things out and see if we can get, yeah, looks good to me, a nice kind of badge going there. And what's really fun about this is with all of these different shapes, we can come in here and very easily just grab A, which is the direct selection tool, and we can click, and maybe we want to change these up so that this is now white. Ooh, that's looking cool. We also can double click in and it will select just that color for us. And so maybe we want a black outline here, and then maybe this top one goes back to that nice bright yellow. So you can go in and change these colors and really play around with something crazy. Now, if you really, really, really want to get crazy, you can, check this out. You have all these things. You can come in and you can grab, there we go. You can grab your type and you can start to skew it. It'll be very fun to skew. So check this out. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the scale tool and we're going to hit shear. And from there, with all this selected, we're going to click and drag and give it some extra momentum. Now it's got that extra little spark. And this is actually fun to do with this kind of type. If we had something that has all of these outlines on it, I believe as we start to skew this, it will actually have a little bit of a different reaction. You'll see that these actually get way sharper, and we get a lot more interaction with these on the outlines. So you can see that, let's compare these two. Even between the one that we've created and then the original, if you do add that extra little slant, it gives it that huge pop and like that really big pump. And so what we also can do to save this and maybe apply it to something else is we can have our type here, right? And we're going to use something called a graphic style. So we're going to come over here and click on this little button right underneath appearance. It just says graphic styles. And because it's not separate shapes, it is effects on a single shape, right? So the word sparks, if we see the difference between the two here, this is one shape, one word. Here is a bunch of shapes, a bunch of different objects. And so with just the one selected, we can come over to graphic styles and hit plus. And it's going to save all of these settings that we have here. Now it is bothering me that we have a different black. So I'm going to go ahead and change all these to be the same black. There we go. Okay, now it's even. So with that graphic style saved, check this out. A lot of people had said that they wanted to do the hawk stars. So we can simply click with our type tool, and I'm going to scale this up again. And I believe that there's actually a italic version of this. Yep, there is. So we're going to go ahead and choose that, and we're going to type in the Hawk Stars. From there, I'm going to go ahead and just pull the spacing in a little bit. And what's great about this and great about graphic styles is I can simply click on the graphic style and it's going to apply that graphic style to whatever type I have. And so we can still come in here. Yes, this is literally the coolest thing ever. I can come in here, and if we want to change it to the frogs like some people had, we can type in frogs, and there we go. Now it's the frogs. And the problem with using live type here is that it is going to overlap some of these, and we don't necessarily want that. So it's going to be very helpful to outline, going to object and expand appearance. And you'll see that it has those nice outlines. And you want to do that probably before you apply the graphic style. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off all of these graphic styles, and we'll see the difference between the two in just a second. So I'll outline this, and then we're going to want to make sure that that is one shape. So we'll go to compound path and make. And this is going to eliminate the little overlaps that we have up there. You can see in between the G, there's like a little overlap. Those are some of the graphic styles overlapping with the live type. So at times it's great. At times it has some trouble with the live type. But if we click on this, you'll see that because it's all one, we actually don't get the difference in those two shapes. You can see the top one has that overlap right here, and then the bottom one doesn't have any of that black overlap. When we do expand appearance and expand, what's the difference, please? Nothing. Expand appearance and expand, pretty much the same for these. Command Shift O is exactly the same hotkey as well. It all does pretty much the same, is it takes it from one thing being not, or being live type, into being not live, so that you can't really play around with it. But it is nice to have the ability to have the live type, and then if we wanted to, we could just do this. Just space it out a little bit and kind of cheat so that it doesn't overlap there. But here we have all the shapes, and from here, because this graphic style's on it, so check this out, and this is going to answer your question. Because this is one shape with effects applied to it, basically expanding takes all of those effects, whether it's live type, whether it's outlines, and makes them into shapes. So if I go to Object, Expand Appearance, it's going to expand all of those different outlines that I have into easy to work with paths. So now I can come in here, and if I want to grab our fun colors that we have up here, right, and we want to do something that is probably green is probably the answer here. We could come in and just double click, and now we can select each of these pieces individually, and you can see that it's going to have those outlines for us. Maybe we want a kind of lighter blue, or actually let's do it the other way around. Let's do the lighter blue here, and on the outside let's do this hot pink, right? Ooh, yeah, that looks cool. So you can play around and even mess around with some of these, some of the in-betweens, and find some really cool combinations to add. There we go, that's what we want, to add some fun flair. So your challenge is to play around with type. I do suggest using Modesto if you want, or find another thing that has super sharp serifs, or something like Futura that has really sharp kind of edges. You want things with points if you're doing sports logos. And then you're going to offset path, or you're going to create the graphic style. If you are doing the Creative Challenge replay, or you want to circle back up to this, make your graphic styles and then see if you can make signage for the team. So figure out what the team name is, and then figure out section 201. Figure out what a name tag would look like by using those graphic styles and applying it to different things. So high replay challenge. And also, if you are watching this challenge today live and you want to circle back in 2 weeks, come back to this, watch the replays, and do the extra credit. So thanks so much for joining us today. As always, we will be back tomorrow with another daily creative challenge. Just know that early next week, we are doing one of my favorite things that people don't know about in Illustrator, and that's variables. We're going to create a bunch of different objects using data merges, using spreadsheets. We're going to get into cell structure. It's going to be crazy. So sure to come back and join us for that. After this, there's more great content coming all day on Adobe Live, so make sure that you stick around. And we'll be here every day for the next 3.5 weeks, whether it's live or whether it's replay, 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on behance.net/live. I'll see you tomorrow for another Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge. Bye. Have fun with your sports.